What is up, ladies and gentlemen? How are you all doing this evening? And you know what? Instead of doing something for Cucumber Reviews provided by Cucumber Incorporated, or doing something about Talk Inside the Ring, I decided I would do something a little bit different. And so, you know, it's been a while since I have made a video about Five Nights at Freddy's. Of course, though, I've not really made that many videos about Five Nights at Freddy's, but where we have still not gotten an official film for Five Nights at Freddy's, the closest thing we have is Willy's Wonderland, starring Nicolas Cage, and that actually is a fun movie. I strongly recommend that you go watch that. We also got one entitled Banana Split, and we also got a mini movie that is actually still on Hulu, and you can even find it on YouTube, called The Hug. It's a miniature film about 5 minutes long that basically kind of gives you a taste of what a Five Nights at Freddy's movie would be like if it was rated R and if it was horror-based, which is what, you know, everybody wants. And with rumors that there's a possibility, I highly doubt it, but if we get the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, there's rumors that it actually might come out this year. And for a couple years, I have been wondering, well, okay, what would be some good ideas for the movie? And so I decided to write some down, and I figured I would share some of these with you guys, and, you know, put in the comments below what you actually think would be a good idea for a Five Nights at Freddy's movie, or tell me what your ideas are. Tell me what you would do. What would you base it off of? What game would you base it off of? I really would like to know. So I'm just going to go ahead and share with you all some of my ideas, and, you know, what my inspirations are for them. So let's just go ahead and get things started. So one idea that I had is basically taking the concept from the book. Now, I have read this book about 3 times. I really enjoy this book. When these books were coming out and I was really big into Fnaf, into Five Nights at Freddy's, I really liked this book. This book scared me. I actually think I'm going to read it again and do another review of it because my other review was just awful. But so my idea basically for what I would do is, you know, base it off the book, because like in the book you have kids who come back years later to their town and they discover they find the pizzeria in an old abandoned mall, and every time they go in, either something happens or the next time they come back something happens. There's Easter eggs concerning, like, you know, like certain jump scares and things that happen when you're playing as a security guard. So, you know, I thought it would be a really cool idea if, you know, like just random kids, because I have always liked the idea of someone accidentally stumbling upon something. So, for example, if you've ever seen the fan-made movie Never Hike Alone, it's a Friday the 13th movie about where this guy who's hiking in the woods, he accidentally discovers Camp Crystal Lake. I like stories like that, and I think it would be a very cool idea if maybe we had this like group of kids who, like, you know, are just messing around, you know, they're just trying to find something to do, or they're rebelling or something, or, you know, they're just being kids and they accidentally discover the pizzeria. Now, either they have never heard of it before, or, you know, it's just something that they remember doing as kids, and for some reason it closed down and they never went back, and they're revisiting their old childhood, and every time they keep going back, something happens and they discover it, or they discover what's going on. Or like maybe even borrow an idea from Freddy vs. Jason, where the whole town knows about it, or the whole police force knows about what happened, and they're trying to keep everything under wraps. Like, you know, they black out everything, you know, keep it under wraps so that it never happens again, and they never have to worry about it or deal with the consequences. I think that would actually be a very good idea, because it would be actually borrowing from the source material and from Scott Cawthon's own mind, because he actually did write this book, and I like the idea of this book. It's it's scary, it's suspenseful. I think it would actually be a very unique idea to have just kids stumbling across and going through stuff that they shouldn't, and then bringing stuff from the pizzeria and bringing it out into the world. So that's my first idea. Okay, so my second idea is actually an inspiration from Halloween 2018, where we're in such a drive for true crime. You know, everybody, even me, you know, I have a fascination with true crime. The one case that I'm so interested in is actually the Zodiac Killer, because how he was never caught and he talked to the police. So, you know, in the whole thing in Halloween 2018, you have these podcasters who are coming down to talk to people about Michael Myers and the murders, and, you know, talk to the victims who are still alive and stuff like that. So, you know, I think it would be a really good idea, kind of like a version of the Blair Witch Project, kind of, where you have these podcasters who are coming into the town, you know, they discover things about the case, and, you know, like, it's kind of under wraps, it's barely talked about, barely mentioned, there's not really that much information on it. And, you know, they go to the town, they interview people, and then they find the pizzeria, and, like, you know, every time they go in there, or they stay in there maybe, and they start uncovering things start to happen, and they barely escape, and then they try to report what's going on, and then people will be like, no, you need to stop, and then they just discover more and more about the town, and kind of like a whole kind of creepy vibe. Like I said, kind of a combination between the podcaster idea from Halloween 2018 and kind of like the Blair Witch Project, just a little bit of found footage. Maybe that would be another good idea, a found footage movie. I actually think that might be the only way that a Five Nights at Freddy's movie might work. And so my final idea is actually a little bit of an inspiration from the game, and I'm plugging in a YouTuber, Mr. Nightmare from YouTube. He always does like these scary stories, kind of like a creepypasta thing, and he actually did a couple on Five Nights at Freddy's, and I liked the idea that he had. He came up with the story of a kid who grew up in the town where Freddy Fazbear's Pizza was, and he came back for the summer, and so he got a job as a security guard. And every single night, things would start out slow, but then gradually they would just get worse and worse and worse. And I think that would be a good idea too, maybe even making a movie about the phone guy. We have never figured out who the phone guy was. So, you could do this idea where he gets a job as a security guard and he bounces back and forth between day and night shift. Nothing really happens the first couple nights and even the first couple days, because they always say daytime is the safest. But, you could have a kid disappears during the day, and then something happens at night, and as each thing goes on, he can be recording stuff for the new person who they're going to be hiring, hey, don't do this, this is happening, be very careful, do not ever run out of power. And you could build up to the suspense of the power going out. Those are my ideas. I really think that you could even combine maybe ideas 1 and 2, about the podcasting idea and the kids, just discovering it. But I have always kind of liked that idea. I have honestly always wanted to do fan-made things, so a rich family accidentally discovering Isla Nublar, and dinosaur thing ensues, or stumbling across an island and it's filled with zombies. I've just always liked that idea. So, those are my ideas. Put in the comments below, what idea do you like? Remember, the first idea is based on the book, where kids go into the pizzeria and stuff happens, and every time they keep coming back, things get worse and worse. Second idea, podcasters trying to uncover the truth. And then the third idea is basically a movie about the phone guy. We finally figured out who he was, and he documents everything that he sees and leaves it for somebody to find. Put in the comments below, what ideas would you do? Don't forget to elbow drop that like button, spear the subscribe button for the 1, 2, 3, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm really hoping that we get a Fnaf movie. What was your favorite Fnaf game? What about the new books? I've not read any of those, but what do you think about it? What's your favorite game theory video about Five Nights at Freddy's? Let me know, guys. I hope you're staying warm, because it's a new year, and I just hope that everybody's 2022 is better than everybody's 2021. Have a good day, guys, and we'll see you next time.